My office is in real need of a clean, and thanks to Eufy, the sponsor of this video, I have just the tool to help me do it. Hey, it's Joshua Vergara. What's going on, everybody? Here's a look at the brand new, beautifully designed and powerful Eufy S1 Pro. Right after getting this out of the box, I wanted to get straight to a vacuum and a mop so I can clean up the floor here in my office. But before we get to that, we can admire the thoughtful design both inside and out of the Eufy S1 Pro. The home base, called the Uniclean Station, might be a bit tall, but it houses a lot of different features that the S1 Pro takes advantage of, including auto emptying of the S1 Pro, and of course water tanks, so that it will be able to feed clean water into the S1 Pro and then take out the dirty water after a mopping cycle. A cleaning solution that you can buy from Eufy is also available if you want to put even more power behind the mopping action. And of course, the S1 Pro slots very nicely into the Uniclean Station, able to come back to its home base automatically after a clean is done. And the vacuum itself is really sleek with this nice black and gray colorway, but also its profile is quite low, so it will be able to handle low clearance areas. There is of course the camera array, which helps with collision detection, and then a water tank inside will help with circulation for the mopping brush. But more on that as we're actually cleaning with the vacuum, so let's go ahead and get started. Alright, once again a quick shout out to Eufy for sponsoring this video and for helping me get my office clean. To learn more about the powerful S1 Pro, you can head to the links that I have down in the description and check one out for yourself. This is also the perfect time for me to show you the app for the S1 Pro, which lets me see what the vacuum is up to at any point, even in this first mapping session, since of course it has to map the area before it can actually do all of its features. The app makes it really easy to control any aspect of the process, from the cleaning modes to actually setting the zone that you want to be cleaned, and since my office is just one big rectangle, well, it's just one big zone. So even when I take a break from the office for lunch, I can just go ahead and trigger a cycle while I'm gone and check in on it later. The mapping shows one of the best features of the vacuum, and that would be the 3D matrix eye. Eufy have outfitted the S1 Pro with RGB and active binocular infrared cameras, making collision detection really good on here. Seriously, with other robot vacuums, I usually contend with the fact that this front portion here, the bumper, ends up looking way worse over time because the vacuum bumps and scrapes against various objects. Now, the bumper is still one way for the vacuum to know to move around any object, but the cameras here are a preemptive measure that seems really effective. That's because the cameras emit 300,000 dots 8 times per second to not just recognize an obstacle, but to even generate a 3D model of it so that it can maneuver even better around it. I can actually see it happening properly with my light stands here, which often result in what can only be described as a labyrinth for robot vacuums. And during a clean, it was even able to recognize and label certain other obstacles that were in its way, like the shoe icon here that appeared when I personally was in its way. Simply put, the S1 Pro has much wider awareness, so it can commit to getting into spots because it knows it can get out of them too. Also, you can see that there isn't like a large LiDAR unit on top of here like with many other vacuums, so the slim profile of the S1 Pro is able to get into places that other vacuums simply wouldn't clear. But make no mistake, this vacuum does have LiDAR. It might even be designated by the little LED light show in the front portion of the vacuum. The LiDAR provides large optical detection of up to 12 meters away, which definitely adds to the vacuum's effective preemptive measures. I've already been showing some clips of the clean to show off the effectiveness of the camera array, but also this first clean shows off one of the main features of the S1 Pro, super suction. This vacuum tops out at 8,000 pascals of suction power, making just the vacuuming mode really effective alone. You can definitely hear it all come alive when you go to the max mode inside of the app. We can't forget to do a proper test. My chia seed and cinnamon mixture right here is going right onto the floor, and you can see how the powerful suction of the Eufy S1 Pro is able to scoop it right up. Even just after this first vacuum cycle, looking at the floor, I felt like things looked way better already. And once the cycle is done, of course the vacuum heads back to the base station, and that's where we can talk about the many features that the home base provides. You just heard the base station vacuum go off via the auto emptying feature. That's right, no more having to get my hands dirty and empty out the vacuum by myself. But now it's time to get an even deeper clean, and that will require some clean water to be put in the front tank there. The base station will then wet the rolling mop brush, which you can see spans the entire width of the unit back here. And then the vacuum and mop cycle will commence with this floor detect sensor up here doing its job, making sure that when it's over carpet, it knows that and is not going to actively be wetting that carpet. Now, like you can already see, this mop back here is wide and substantial, and the S1 Pro's objective is for this to mimic the kind of scrubbing that I would be doing. And so this is a roller that actually rolls in the opposite direction of where the vacuum is headed, making for some proper resistance that hits the floor. The fact that it is a nice and wide roller also means that it can cover more surface area at a time as compared to the circular mops that you might see on other robot vacuums. But what makes this one special is that the S1 Pro actually has a water tank in here for a circulation system that continuously cleans the mop while it is in use. The mop is being hit with fresh water while it is also being squeezed of the dirty water, ensuring that the mop remains as clean as possible during the entire cycle. Due to its shape and the fact that the mop self-cleans 200 times per minute, this Always Clean Mop is a pretty innovative feature for this vacuum. The result is a floor that is UV certified clean. With the vacuum back in the home station, you can hear the auto dust emptying happening, and then of course it discards the dirty water and replenishes the clean water. And there it is, the dirty water that the S1 Pro was able to pick up from my floor and put into a different tank for easy discarding. The mop then gets cleaned up with even more clean water and then dries out for the next mopping cycle. But you can see from the water just how much dirt the S1 Pro was able to pick up, and thus should be able to pick up on a regular basis. I still have a long way to go towards getting this office like completely clean to the way that I want it, but I am way closer to that goal now, and it's due in part to this eufy S1 Pro. And so there you have it, a look at the eufy S1 Pro. This is a powerful robot vacuum that self-cleans in more ways than one. There are a bunch of innovative features which put together make for a package that I haven't really seen in other robot vacuums, and because of that the eufy S1 Pro could be a contender at the forefront of flagship vacuum robots. Let me know your thoughts on the eufy S1 Pro, as this looks like one of the best flagship vacuum robots out there, and it could be a great upgrade for your home cleaning solutions. Let me know your opinions in the comment sections downstairs. The eufy S1 Pro will be launching on Kickstarter on March 28th, where you can get an up to 40% discount during its campaign. Make sure to check the links in the description below to learn more about the eufy S1 Pro and probably get one for yourself. From there, I'm going to go ahead and call it on this one. Thank you so much for hanging out with me again today. Please take care of yourselves and each other, and enjoy your tea, everybody. Let me get this thing back to its home.
Returning to base station.